Poem Rain in Summer by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Themes: Beauty of nature. Simply stated, this poem is a celebration of the beauty of nature in one of its simplest forms, a rain shower. Longfellow chronicles this through descriptions of rolling clouds, the vapors that arise from the soil and fields of grain that bend their tops to the raindrops. Poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. He was a famous American poet, scholar, and novelist. His first collection of poems was Voices of Night, which was followed by ballads and other poems. His poems inspired many artists and composers and were read not only in classrooms but in ceremonies as well. They were appreciated for their lyrical quality. Now, let's read the poem. How beautiful is the rain after the dust and heat in the broad and fiery street. In the narrow lane, how beautiful is the rain. How it clatters along the roofs like the tramp of hoofs. How it gushes and struggles out from the throat of the overflowing spout. Across the window pane it pours and pours, and swift and wide, with a muddy tide. Like a river down the gutter roars the rain, the welcome rain. The sick man from his chamber looks at the twisted brooks. He can feel the cool breath of each little pool. His fevered brain grows calm again, and he breathes a blessing on the rain. From the neighboring school come the boys with more than their wonted noise and commotion, and down the wet streets sail their mimic fleets, till the treacherous pool engulfs them in its whirling and turbulent ocean. In the country, on every side, where far and wide, like a leopard's tawny and spotted hide, stretches the plain to the dry grass and the drier grain, how welcome is the rain. In the furrowed land, the toilsome and patient oxen stand, lifting the yoke encumbered head, with their dilated nostrils spread. They silently inhale the clover scented gale and the vapors that arise from the well watered and smoking soil. For this, rest in the furrow after toil. Their large and lustrous eyes seem to thank the Lord more than man's spoken word. Near at hand, from under the sheltering trees, the farmer sees his pastures and his fields of grain as they bend their tops to the numberless beating drops of the incessant rain. He counts it as no sin that he sees therein only his own thrift and grain. The rhyme scheme in this poem is A, B, B, A, C, C. Longfellow doesn't keep that up throughout, but lines do consistently rhyme. The poem also makes use of similes in order to bring comparisons about rain to the forefront of the reader's mind. The rain, the welcome rain. In this poem, the rain was welcomed because the land was dry and the weather was too hot. The rain is welcomed by the human beings and the nature. The poet says that the rain is beautiful because it comes in the hot summer and settles the dust in the air and cools the heat. The poet compares the rain with different things such as sound of rain on the roof, like the tramp of hoofs, and spout as a throat of a human being in which the rain is struggling to come out with a plentiful stream. The poet also describes that the falling rain has an impact on different people and in different places. The poet shows that rain is a beautiful thing in many different ways. The rain quenches heat and settles dust. That is why he welcomed rain wholeheartedly. Rain is generally perceived as a blessing for several reasons. It brings a respite from the summer heat and is beneficial for farming. In this poem of H.W. Longfellow's, Rain in Summer captures how it affects different places and people in a positive way. The poem can be broadly divided into two focal points. The first part depicts broad streets, narrow lanes, and gutters, indicating life in a town. Here, the rain changes the landscape and cheers up the people. One example is the sick old man whose spirits lift at the sight of the newly formed brooks and pools. The other example is that of school children for whom the falling rain is a source of fun even though their paper boats are engulfed by the miniature oceans. The later half takes us to the countryside where the rain performs a more vital role. We move beyond the enjoyment of children and the emotional comfort of the old man. For the parched plain, the silently suffering oxen, and the hopeful farmer, rainwater is a necessity. The poet draws attention to this with vivid imaginary and moving descriptions. The arid plain resembles the skin of a leopard. The happiness in the hard-working oxen's eyes seems to suggest they are thanking God for his mercy. The farmer can only think of the prosperity the rain would fetch him, and he feels no shame in it because, after all, his livelihood is important to him. In this way, this extract of the poem offers a realistic representation of the various ways the rain is valued. Children, heavy rains remind us of challenges in life. Never ask for a lighter rain. Just pray for a better umbrella. That is the right attitude. Children, make your future by saying, I don't want to protect the environment. I want to create a world where the environment doesn't need protecting.